Good evening, Miss Yunieta and Miss Anissa. So my name is Muhammad David Arnafis, and this is my corporate finance final exam presentation on PT Cisarua Mountain Dairy Tbk or Cimori KMRE. So my recommendation is buy with a current price of IDR 4,520 and a weighted fair value of 5,631, implying a 24.6% upside. And the key thesis is that Cimori is now a premium nutrition platform with resilient growth, strong balance sheet flexibility, and disciplined capital allocation potential. So we need to take a look at the company profile first. And Chimori is a founder-controlled consumer company with an integrated group structure. And the company is supported by subsidiaries in product distribution, meat processing, and also liquid egg processing. And this shows that the Chimori is not only for a daily dairy company, but already operate across a broader consumer food ecosystem. And its milestone also shows that continuous expansion from establishment in 2005, export division in 2017, and IPO in 2021. And let's take a look at the business model. So Chimori has evolved from a dairy-focused business into a broader premium consumer food platforms. In 2025, the consumer food contributed up to 6 trillion higher than dairy products at 4 trillions. And this diversification is important because Chimori growth is no longer dependent on one segment only, and it is integrated value chain also support the product freshness, manufacturing control, and also the future product innovation. And let's take a look at the distribution network. So Chimori distribution network is one of the strongest competitive advantage, and the company use modern trade, general trade, Miss Chimori, food service, and also the export market. And modern trade contributes 39% of sales, general trade 36%, Miss Chimori 21%, and also the food service is 4%. In my view, it is the combination of retail access and also the direct household penetration that makes Chimori route to market difficult to replicate. And let's take a look at the stock performance of the Chimori. So Chimori stock share price has generally moved with broader market sentiment, especially IHSG movement. However, the company fundamental remain resilient even during the share price correction. Chimori continued to deliver double-digit revenue and also the profit growth, and this suggests that the market has not fully priced the company earnings quality and also the long-term growth potential. And I believe they have some growth potential. So let's take a look at the historical financial performance. Chimori already delivered some strong financial growth from 2020 to 2025. The revenue has already increased from 1.86 trillion to 10 trillion, representing a 41% CAGR. And net profit increased even faster from only 177 billion to 2 trillion on a 72% CAGR. And this shows that Chimori growth was supported not only by the scale, but also by the stronger profitability and also the operating leverage. And Chimori also shows some financial quality in 2025. The gross profit margin was around 45%, operating margin reached 21%, and net profit margin reached 19%. ROA reached 80%, and the ROE reached 30%, while leverage remained conservative with liabilities to asset at 22%. And this means that Chimori is profitable, efficient, and not overly dependent on debt. And as you can see from the common size analysis, actually Chimori have some costs at the advertising, but it's okay since they can value it as the net profit increase. So next is valuation. And for valuation, my weighted target price is 5,631 per share, based on 70% DCF and 30% relative valuation. The DCF target is 5,992, while relative valuation give a more conservative target of 4,787. I use DCF as the main anchor because Chimori value is driven by long-term cash flow growth, innovation, distribution expense, and margin resilience. And next, let's take a look at the sensitivity and Monte Carlo. So the sensitivity analysis shows that Chimori valuation is most affected by WACC and terminal growth assumption. To test the robustness, I also used the Monte Carlo simulation, and the results support the buy thesis with 77.5% of the 10,000 trials classified as buy, 22.5% as hold, and almost zero sell outcomes. And this means that the valuation upside is statistically supported, although the execution risk still need to be monitored. Now, the real option analysis shows that Chimory low leverage creates strong downside protection under both the going concern and liquidation approaches. Equity value remains positive and risk neutral default probability is close to zero. And this will support the idea that Chimory equity behave like an in-the-money call option, where the shareholder benefit from future growth while their pressure remains very, very low. Now let's take a look at the capital structure. The Chimory is currently under-levered, but aggressive leverage is not necessary. The model suggests an optimal debt-to ratio of 10%, but the value uplift is very small. The WACC only declined from 10.45 into 10.44, and value per share increased by only IDR 9. And therefore, the Chimory should preserve some balance sheet flexibility and use debt only for value-aggressive capex or strategic transaction. And now for dividend policy, Chimory should maintain a progressive but capex-aware payout. DPS is projected to increase from IDR 120 in 2026 to IDR 439 in 2030, while payout ratio gradually rises. And this means that the dividend growth follows earning growth, not excessive payout expansion. My recommendation is to normalize dividend after the elevated 2025 payout, while keeping enough cash for growth investment. And now for the M&A strategic rationale. For M&A, CAMP is strategically relevant because it expands Chimory into the adjacent ice cream and frozen customer category. Chimory can potentially unlock value through distribution reach, cold chain capability, procurement scale, and also the brand execution. The synergy framework shows potential synergy value of 4 trillion. However, this value depends on actual execution. So the acquisition should not be evaluated only based on the strategic fit. Although the CAM is strategically attractive and EPS attractive, the optimal decision is to defer. The acquired now NPV is negative at minus 113 billion, while the option value of waiting is positive at 359 billion. This means that Chimory should not reject CAMP, but should wait for better valuation, clearer synergy visibility, and stronger integration readiness before executing the transaction. And now let's take a look at the ESG rating for the Chimory. Chimory ESG profile support the investment thesis by improving business durability and brand trust. The overall ESG assessment score is 3.93, with social as the stronger pillar at 4.1 at 4.0. This is supported by Miss Chimory, Dairy Farmer Partnership, Employee Development, and also the Zero Discrimination or Child Labor Incident. However, emission intensity and board diversity remain key monitoring areas. And now let's take a look at the risks. The main risks are the raw milk and dairy commodity cost inflation, competition in dairy and protein FMCG, premium demand slowdown, and product quality incident. These risks can affect margin, market share, pricing power, and also the brand trust. However, Chimory has strong mitigating factors, including some brand strength, diversified product, integrated distribution, and also conservative leverage. Therefore, the risks are manageable but should be monitored closely. And to conclude, I recommend buy on Chimory with a target price of 5,631 rupiah, implying a 24.6% upside. The recommendation is supported by 4 pillars. The first one is resilient dairy and customer food growth, a strong balance sheet with underutilized debt capacity, and the third one is DCF-led valuation upside, and the last one is disciplined capital allocation across dividend, M&A, and ESG. Overall, Chimory offers an attractive long-term value creation story, but management should remain disciplined in leverage, dividend payout, and acquisition timing. That's all for me. Thank you.